Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about something that you guys have requested numerous times, and that's going to be how to tell whether the shock absorber on your car is going. Now, this stems from a video I made previously talking about how the shock absorber on this car had started to fail, and a couple of you guys are thinking, well, perhaps mine has started to fail. You said that the ride in your car's changed a little, and yeah, I just thought I'd address this because there are several sort of really easy ways to work out whether your shock absorbers are failing. Now, for those of you who don't know, on these cars they're quite expensive. I've had quite a few of you message me saying you found them for £160. If you try and fit those to your car, they don't fit. This year of SAT 2010's used a shock absorber with a M16 bolt on the bottom. All the ones you can buy are for the different generations, or the different, they've basically got different mounts on them, which means that the standard shock absorbers that you can normally get for about 160 quid for a pair don't fit, so you have to buy the £550 ones from Volvo. So that's where this video sort of come from. So the first sort of symptom you'll find for your shock absorber failing will be that the ride in the car will start to get a bit bouncy. Now, it's a really subtle sign, and it'll probably be something you don't notice initially, because the car is, well, it will just bounce a little bit as you go over bumps or crests in the road. The car will start to sort of bounce like that as you drive it, and a bit like driving a pickup, the ride becomes a bit less composed. Now, the next thing that happens is you'll get leakage from the shock absorber itself. Now, you can actually see this on my wheel, which is perfect. There are these marks here, are shock absorber fluid that have, when you go over sort of big compressions, the fluid has been squeezed out of the shock absorber because the seal is broken. Now, this is something that is quite obvious and quite easy to see on the wheel. It's basically, just looks like you've gone for a puddle or something, but you'll notice that the fluid isn't acting like regular sort of fluid that's been splashed onto it. It's sort of come from the inside, and it's quite a clear sign. Now, this as well manifests itself into a little puddle of fluid on the floor, and this is how I knew, first of all, that my shock had gone. What had happened was, I parked it up after taking her for a fairly sort of spirited drive over some sort of big crests and hills on a bumpy road, and I came out in the morning, moved the car forward, and behind it was a small puddle of fluid, probably about 6 inches in radius, so 12 inches in diameter, and it looked originally like oil, and I couldn't think for the life of me what it was. I thought perhaps there'd been some oil come out of the exhaust, which obviously can happen if you're burning oil and stuff like that. You get a bit of residue sitting in the exhaust, or if the engine's overfilled, then that can be an issue. But it wasn't that. It was actually the hydraulic fluid from the shock absorber, and that was really the biggest sign. That's when things started to go downhill, because once all that fluid had left the shock, the car or the rear of it started to fall apart a bit. Now, when you go over bumps, or if you hit a pothole, you'll get a massive vibration through the cabin, and that is your number one tip, or your number one sign that the shock absorber has failed. Now, there is one easier way to tell, and that sort of goes down to the basic functions of the shock absorber. It is obviously to absorb shock. Now, I'll show you what a shock absorber should do. So if we go to this corner of the car and push it down, you'll see there's no bouncing. However, if we do this side of the car, you can see that the car continues to bounce after you've stopped, and that is the biggest sign. You can obviously see that it's this side that's failed rather than the left hand side. There is also one other way, and that will be that your car will slightly lean to the right hand side, or whichever side the shock absorber's gone. So yeah, it's just a few simple little tips to really sort of so you guys can tell whether your shock absorbers are failing or not. Now, for those of you that have reported that the ride has become stiffer, that isn't necessarily a shock absorber issue. That's probably more of a spring issue. If you have a broken spring, essentially the spring isn't springing basically, and the forces of the bump are going straight through the shock absorber, which it isn't designed to deal with. So yeah, a reason why you want to get your shock absorbers done is because the springs can actually be damaged, because obviously all the force is being put through the spring as they're bouncing like that. So yeah, that's it guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you've ever had a shock absorber fail on your Volvo. It's quite a common issue on these, and let me know also if you enjoy the new filming location. As you can see here, we've got the epitome of British countryside going on, which is very fortunate to live just down there, which is lovely. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Like I said, let me know your thoughts, and let me know if you guys have had a shock absorber failure, and also stick in the comments below if you've got any other videos you'd like to see on the P3 Volvos. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.